stand for the opening prayer and pledge.
Father in heaven, bless us as we gather today for this meeting. Guide our minds and hearts so we will work for the good of our community. Teach us to be generous in our outlook, courageous in the face of difficulty, and wise in our decisions. Thy will be done. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hancock County Commission will come to order this third day of May, 2018 at 2:30 p.m. Mr. Clerk, I ask you to take a roll call, please.
Mr. Davis, all commissioners are present this afternoon.
Thank you. Approval of minutes. Approval of the commission meeting minutes for April 26, 2018.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Correspondence. Donna Galuka, Transit Manager, Weirton Transit Corporation, requesting financial support in the amount of $6,000 for fiscal year 2018 and 19.
Move to make it a matter of record.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Carol Shearbaum, WVU Extension Agent, Hancock County, requesting approval of the retirement of Rebecca Wiggers as full-time administrative assistant effective May 31st, 2018, and requesting approval to hire Rebecca Wiggers as a part-time administrative assistant effective June 1, 2018.
Move to approve.
Discussion?
Yeah, I personally think that we should accept her resignation or her retirement and approve to rehire her under new business. Would that be more proper, Council?
It does seem like it would be more appropriate to handle it that way. I agree with you.
Okay. I amend my motion so that right now we move to accept her retirement.
Motion before us is to approve the retirement of Becky Wiggers. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under correspondence, Cal McPherson, Rick Smith, Phil Ruzak, Lisa Conti from the Hancock County Health Board recommending the reappointment of Jim Pryor to the board.
Move to make it a matter of record.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under new business, approval to advertise on the county website for an opening on the Tomlinson PSD. This resident must live within the district of Tomlinson.
Move to approve.
Discussion? They would have to submit their name to the courthouse by May the 14th. No further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval to advertise on the county website for two openings on the Hancock County Parks and Recreation Board. The one position, they must reside in Butler District, and the other, they could be from Butler, Clay, or Grant.
Move to approve.
Discussion?
Yeah. I think eventually we're going to have to look at possibly removing, if we can, magistrate districts. Butler, actually, Butler District is completely in Weirton, and they operate under the Weirton Parks and Recreation. They have their own board down there. It's going to be difficult to get someone from that area. We had one. We had an excellent person, but I'm not so sure we have that type of person that would be willing to commit themselves. So might be something we look at if we don't get an applicant.
Okay, the motion before us is to approve to advertise for the Park and Recreation Board. No further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Dog warden.
Just getting, new business with the, we've got hiring part-time through the extension
Thank you.
office.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to retain Rebecca Wiegers as a part-time administrative assistant effective June 1, 2018.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Dog warden. Review of prior months of the animal shelter's monthly report.
Gentlemen, the Ms. Volusis would have been here to review this with you, but due to an illness, she is out. So I was either drafted or volunteered to present it, however you want to look at it. In any event, what had happened was, what you have before you are reports appear to go from January of 2018 through March 31st, 2018. Of course, these are items that you had already approved, and they had been presented to you. When these things had been cross-referenced with some other information, they noticed some errors and continued to investigate some matters and realized that, at least going back to that date, they found some discrepancies between the documents that they had on their records and when they were transcribed to an official report for you folks, for the three of you to approve. So work was put in to review those reports, the initial information, to compare the two and make the corrections. So that's what you have before you are corrected reports. The good news is, and with that, is that the results are actually better than what you had initially approved. Overall, through those 3 months, there are 42 more adoptions than were previously reported. 8 more animals were actually fostered than what was initially reported. Euthanizations only increased by 1 over that 3-month span. Some of them came out to be there were just some discrepancies that ended up being a no net change in the numbers before you. But those that is a general summary of what you have. So what is basically being asked here is for you to approve these corrected documents so that they will instead become the official records for the animal shelter reports. The old ones, of course, are still on file as they were previously approved, but these will be the corrected versions that were amended. And looking at the reports, it appears that they're reviewing whether or not this was a clerical error or simply a software error. So that's being reviewed, and I'm not in charge of that, so I'm not going to speak to it. I don't know for sure. I would let Ms. Volusis comment on that. But I know she's looking into it. It looks like the intake of information is not the problem. There were minimal errors with any of this information. So that does not appear to be the issue as the animals come in. The problem seems to be when the data is being processed for animals out, okay? And that information, for whatever reason, when it's being transcribed from the shelter's inherent documents, their source material, to the report that the three of you ultimately receive and are asked to approve, somewhere along the line, that's what's being lost. That's why we wonder, is it simply a clerical error when it's being transferred, or is it some type of software glitch that they've got to work out? But that's what we have so far. So overall, the shelter's actually doing better than what was believed, which is a good thing, but they do want to definitely get that fixed so you don't have to worry about having to continue approve corrected documents in the future. So if you have any questions, I will answer what I can. But that's what I've given you is pretty much the information that I have on hand.
Very good.
They
Thank
can
you.
coincide with the actual reports where each animal comes in and is documented until it's gone.
That is correct. Correct. As I understand, as has been explained to me, yes, that is correct.
I move that we accept the corrected reports for the animal shelter monthly reports January through March.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sheriff's Department requesting approval to hire George Douglas as a probationary deputy effective May 16, 2018.
Move to approve.
Sheriff?
George Douglas is the son of William and Connie Douglas of Weirton. He grew up in Weirton, graduated from Weir High in 2009, graduated from West Liberty University with a Bachelor of Science Administration, Business Administration, excuse me. In May of 2016, he was hired at the Brooke County Sheriff's Office, where he is currently employed and graduated in West Virginia Basic Police Academy at the end of 2016. And he currently lives in Weirton with his fiancee. This will conclude the eligibility list that we have on hand. I've spoken to Mr. Foley. Although we don't have any vacancies in the department this time. This will bring us up to snuff. But we could in very near future. So I've talked to Mr. Foley that he can start the process of setting up for a possible testing procedure so we can have what I would call a good list on hand. Other than that, do you have any questions of me? This also, if I may clarify, this is the backfill that we needed in order to put someone into the Rockefeller Center school that we discussed at the last meeting. So as not to add any confusion to it. I'm not growing the department, but I am. So, any other questions I'd be able to answer from you.
Again, just to reiterate, the expenditures occurred by putting in the officer at the Votech Center will be picked up by the Board of Education.
Yes.
No additional cost to the county.
No additional cost to the county.
Any further discussion?
Move to hire George Douglas as a probationary deputy.
There's already a motion on the table.
Motion's been made.
Oh, sorry. Guess I should listen. Sorry.
No further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Request approval to purchase 6 new cruisers and equipped to outfit each cruiser.
I'm going to make a motion that we approve the purchase of 2 new cruisers at this time.
Discussion? The reason I would like to just comment, the sheriff had requested 6 cruisers, and we were looking at an option to do a lease buyout after 3 years. But the information that was in the lease, we didn't have time to review it fully, and instead of delaying the sheriff in getting some new cruisers at this discounted rate, the county will actually just be paying for 2 cruisers instead of the option of leasing 6. I believe the sheriff, not speaking for you, but you're going to continue to look into lease agreement and something that can get approved through our prosecutor, and maybe that's an option in the future.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's an option for the future, for the county's sake. But the prosecutor brought to my attention that there might be some other loopholes, that's the wrong word, legalese that needs to be addressed that I had not anticipated. So he will be included in going over lease agreements, etc. And also, I'll probably call on Mr. Vitus in insisting us to go to bid for lease agreements in the future.
Well,
If
we're
Mr.
busy
Vitus
finding the
is-
loopholes for the sheriff. The irony is that the sheriff is asking for a loophole now.
Very good. Well, the motion before us is to approve, again, 2 new cruisers and equip each cruiser. If there's no further discussion, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of probate and estates.
They have been reviewed and are recommended for approval as before.
Accept the motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of exoneration orders.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of general county bills.
General county bills are $68,034.27. P-card payments for all funds is $33,453.41.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of animal shelter levy fund bills and requisitions.
Yes, sir, they're okay to pay.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of library levy fund bills and requisitions.
They are okay to pay as well.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of shelter workshop levy fund bills and requisitions.
We have 2 requisition requests, and they're okay to pay.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have a couple folks here to present to the commission today. The first gentleman we have is Roy Palmentier. Roy, if you'd like to come up to the mic and introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. Commission President Davis, Commissioners Barnaby, Cowie, and Sheriff Fletcher. My name is Roy Palmentier, and I am the Secretary of the Hancock Auxcom team. On behalf of the amateur radio operators in Hancock County, to include the members of your Amateur Radio Emergency Services and Auxiliary Communications team, I would like to personally invite you to join us during the National Field Day event, which takes place starting at 2 p.m. on Saturday, June 23rd, and runs for 24 consecutive hours, ending at 2 p.m. on Sunday, June 24th. The Hancock Auxcom team will be setting up our Field Day operations at Clark Field, located off Route 2 in Newell. During the 24 hours of this event, we will be making radio contacts all around the country and world. We will also be holding a Make and Take event where the first several children to sign up will have the opportunity and chance to learn how to solder, along with make a flashlight that they can then take with them. Amateur radio operators provide a critical public service for our community during times of disaster. We are able to provide reliable communications when normal infrastructure is offline. We are licensed by the Federal Communications Commission and trained in the art of radio, science, communications, and basic electronics theory. We maintain our own equipment and are prohibited by federal law from receiving payment for our services. The American Radio Relay League, or ARRL, is our national organization and has built relationships with several served agencies to include FEMA, the Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and many others. Since Field Day is our chance to show off our capabilities, we would like to invite you to come out and see what we provide. Also, we are requesting to be put on the agenda for May 17th so we can formally request your assistance with proclaiming the week of June 18th through 24th as Amateur Radio Week. I do have written invitations for the commissioners and sheriff that I will leave with the clerk. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roy.
Thank you.
Next, we have Rick Rakowski with the Mary H. Weir Library. Rick?
Hi there. I'm Rick Rakowski, and I'm the Hancock County Library Consultant, Director of the Mary H. Weir Public Library. And I'm a little, when I'm looking around the room here, I guess I'm dressed down pretty. I'm not dressed up like you guys are. All these wonderful suits and ties and all that wonderful attire. But I happen to have a cohort right here dressed up in something that I would like to bring Kirsten Pierce from the New Cumberland Swaney Public Library here. We're both here. Boy, I'd like you to talk about what's going on at the Swaney Public Library.
We are having a Star Wars May the 4th Be With You party at 4 today for all the kids, and I was worried about the timing, so I'm Queen Amidala. If any of you are Star Wars fans, Darth Vader is currently watching the library right now, and we're going to put on a really great program for the kids today.
Welcome.
And this is a really great example of why we are here today. We're here for our voters, for our library users in Hancock County, to encourage everyone to vote next week on May 8th for the Hancock County Library Levy. The Lynn Murray Memorial Public Library representative couldn't be here with us because they're short on staff and they're keeping their doors open but could not get here. But they are here in spirit. For our voters out there, it is a library levy renewal. It is not an increase. The current levy that we are in will end on June 30th, 2019, and we need July 1st to have a new levy sitting there to fund the Lynn Murray Memorial Public Library in Chester, the Swaney Memorial Public Library in New Cumberland, and the Mary H. Weir Public Library in Weirton. To everyone, it needs 60% to pass. It's not a simple majority. I'm not going to mention the name of another county somewhere in the middle of the state that lost their levy last year because they didn't have 60%. The majority of the people passed it, but it didn't make the number 60%. And we would not want to see that here in Hancock County. This is, if our voters would all show up, their families and their neighbors, that we can continue the funding that we are using and that we are providing services for our visitors, for our families and children, for our independent library readers and users. This is why we need everyone to vote on May 8th. And with that, we're looking forward to the summer with Library Rocks. That's the summer reading program with children. And we just want to say thank you to everyone supporting our libraries. The signs are out. Bring people with you and vote. And we say thank you. Thank you, County Commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming. Ms. Lascola, anything to come before the commission today?
No, sir, nothing today.
Mr. Lucas?
Nothing today.
Mr. Vitus?
Just one thing. I'd like to thank Roy and I believe you had 4 other gentlemen last night.
Total of 7 at the drill last night.
A total of 7 last night, correct. We did a FEMA actual drill last night at Weir High, and these gentlemen always show up to do their part for the county and to help us pass that part of our drill. So thank you for all you showed up last night.
Okay. Carol?
It's camp season. There you go, Mr. Smith. I have 9 of these signs here with me. If any of you would like to take one and put them in your yards to help us promote camps this year, I would love to see these signs throughout Hancock County. I do have a few more in the office. These are ones that we had purchased a couple of years ago, and we still have them. We wanted to bring them back out this year, let people know that camp is alive and well. We're very excited to go back to camp this year because they have all new beds and mattresses. This is very exciting. Believe me, it's very exciting. Some of the beds, some of my adults said they think they slept on when they were kids. So this is a very good addition. Very happy for the Tomlinson Run. We are hosting a woodland productivity seminar in 2 weeks on Thursday, May the 17th. Yes, Thursday, May 17th, from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Weirton Library. We are partnering with Mr. Rakowski and his fine folks. I'll pass these around. We have 2 gentlemen coming in. Mr. Brent Lyons from the West Virginia Division of Forestry, and we have Dr. Dave McGill he's our Forest Resources Extension Specialist at WVU. Going to come in and talk with people about, forestry. Do you want to timber? Do you not? How can you make your woodlands not just more productive, but also, good for local species and local folks? So it's a free seminar. I know Camp Aura, that the Hancock County 4-H Foundation owns, has a lot of forest, and we're working with Mr. Lyons to help us develop a forestry management plan out there. And so he's going to be there, and we're going to talk with Dr. McGill as well to get folks some information. And it can be anybody from Brooke and Hancock counties, anyone from the local area is welcome to come and learn. Thank you.
Carol, can you update us on the Your garage, your building at Camp Ara.
Garage is, great question. The garage is 3/4 of the way built. The garage doors are ordered. They're going to be put in this spring because they had to kind of stop because the weather got bad. So they're purchasing the garage doors. And then the next thing we're going to be looking at how we're going to do flooring in there. It looks like it's going to be kind of a limestone flooring, tamped down in rather than concrete, because they're concerned with the building not being heated, that the concrete would not be a good thing. But it is well underway. It is already under roof. It looks really good. And I can't wait to see the new doors. They got something, a roll-up door that rolls inside rather than, I've been told it's a better door. I don't understand these things. I don't construct this stuff. But the doors are getting ready to be put in. It's all been built by our volunteers, and so that has really taken the cost of that building to something incredible. And they do appreciate everything that the commissioners did in helping to fund that, because that is, it's huge. I mean, 24 by 40 feet is a really big building for us, and it's going to hold then all of our lawn equipment, and we're going to be able to hold some things out there for archery and shooting sports and some of those things that we do, and it'll make it easier than trying to keep transporting it back and forth. So that's the update. It is up there. Go on out and see it.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol. Tracy, anything from 911?
Not right now, we're good.
No. Stephanie, how about OEM?
Nothing new to report.
Nothing. Good shape?
Yep.
Okay. Sheriff?
Nothing further, thank you.
Mr. Foley?
Saturday's the last day for early voting. Office will be open 9 to 5.
Okay. I understand the turnout's been light? Okay. Commissioner Cowie?
I'd like to thank Roy and your group and everything for all your time that you do for volunteers and for helping out on the different things that we have up here at the 911 center when we have those drills. So I appreciate that, and just remind everybody to get out to vote. It's important.
Okay. Commissioner Barnaby?
I have a couple of things. One is to get out and vote, make your voice heard. The other thing is Friday, May 11th, there's bingo at the Weirton Senior Center. The doors open at 5. This money is used to keep the doors open. So, and the other thing is New Cumberland did their weekend Make It Shine. Had about 15 volunteers, and the overlooking walking trails are now open. And just let everybody know. That's it for me.
Good. The only thing I'd like to mention is the courthouse will be closed on Tuesday, May 8th because of Election Day. That being said, the next meeting is scheduled for 2 weeks from today, May 17th at 2:30 p.m. If there's no further business to come before the commission today, I'll accept the motion that we adjourn.
So moved.
We are adjourned.